A single white bull horn enters a factory. Months later, it leaves as a luxury product worth thousands of dollars. So what transforms a raw, natural horn into a billion-dollar good? And why is every step so tightly controlled? At first glance, a bull horn looks simple, but inside, it's made of dense layers of keratin, the same protein found in human hair and nails. That structure makes it strong, flexible, and surprisingly durable when processed correctly. For manufacturers, that potential is valuable, but only if the horn is handled with precision. Inside the factory, each horn is inspected for size, color, and internal flaws. Only a small percentage meet premium standards. The selected horns are cleaned and stabilized, then slowly heated to soften the material without weakening its natural fibers. Too much heat, and the horn can warp or crack. Too little, and it won't shape properly. Once prepared, the horn is carefully cut, shaped, and polished using specialized equipment. This process reveals its signature white translucency and smooth finish features that luxury brands demand. Multiple inspections follow, because even minor imperfections can reduce long-term durability. In the end, what began as a raw byproduct becomes a refined material used in high-end goods worldwide. This controlled process is why white bull horn remains rare, valuable, and trusted in luxury manufacturing today. White bull horn is considered a rare natural material, valued for its strength, appearance, and limited availability. It is commonly used in luxury accessories, decorative items, and high-end tools where durability and visual detail matter. Unlike mass-produced synthetic materials, bull horn cannot be manufactured to exact specifications. Each horn develops naturally, shaped by genetics, diet, and environment, making every piece slightly different in color, density, and internal structure. This natural variation is part of its appeal, but it also creates challenges. Some horns are thick and evenly layered, while others contain weak spots that are invisible from the outside. For manufacturers, this means quality cannot be assumed. It must be tested, measured, and confirmed before production can begin. A single flaw can affect how the material responds to heat, pressure, and long-term use. In recent years, demand for white bull horn has increased alongside the growth of luxury markets that prioritize craftsmanship and authenticity. Consumers are showing greater interest in materials that feel natural, traditional, and limited in supply. For high-end brands, using real horn signals exclusivity, because no two finished products will ever look exactly the same. That demand also brings responsibility. Strict processing standards exist because the quality of the horn directly impacts both durability and appearance. Improper handling can lead to cracking, discoloration, or warping over time. To prevent this, factories rely on controlled environments, skilled technicians, and detailed inspection systems. In this context, white bull horn is more than a raw material. It represents the balance between nature and precision manufacturing, where natural uniqueness must be carefully managed to meet modern expectations of quality, consistency, and long-term performance. The process begins with raw horn sourcing and inspection. Each white bull horn is examined for size, color consistency, and overall structural integrity. Technicians look for internal weaknesses, surface defects, or uneven density that could affect performance later. Only horns that meet strict standards move forward, while others are redirected for lower-grade uses. Next comes cleaning and sterilization. Natural residue is carefully removed to stabilize the material and prepare it for shaping. This step is essential because any remaining organic matter can weaken the horn over time or interfere with later processing stages. The horns then undergo controlled heating. Temperature and timing are closely monitored to soften the horn just enough for shaping, without damaging its natural fiber structure. This is one of the most delicate stages of the process. Too much heat can cause permanent warping, while too little leaves the horn too rigid to work with. Once softened, the horn is cut and shaped using precision machinery. Depending on the final product, it may be sliced into slabs, formed into handles, or prepared as thin panels. These cuts must be exact, as small measurement errors can reduce strength or visual quality. After shaping, Grinding and smoothing begin. The step evens out thickness and balances the surface, ensuring the material feels consistent in the hand and performs reliably in use. Multiple passes are often required to achieve uniform results. Polishing follows, gradually revealing the horn's natural white translucency and fine grain. This is where the material's luxury appearance fully emerges. Finally, the horn is assembled or prepared for its specific end use, completing its transformation from raw horn to refined product. White bull horn gains much of its value from what it is made of. The material consists primarily of keratin, the same protein found in human hair and nails. This natural structure gives the horn a rare combination of strength and flexibility. When processed correctly, it can resist cracking while still being shaped into detailed forms, making it ideal for high-end products that must balance durability with refined appearance. Another factor that increases its luxury appeal is uniqueness. No two bull horns develop in exactly the same way. Differences in growth patterns, density, and coloration mean that every finished product has its own character. Unlike synthetic materials, which are designed for uniformity, horn-based goods are valued precisely because they cannot be perfectly duplicated. For luxury brands and collectors, this individuality adds exclusivity and long-term appeal. The high value of white bull horn is also tied to strict selection standards. A significant number of raw horns are rejected before production even begins. Internal weaknesses, uneven layers, or color inconsistencies can prevent a horn from reaching premium grade. As a result, only a small percentage of sourced horns are suitable for high-end manufacturing, which naturally limits supply and raises market value. Proper processing further increases that value over time. When horn is cleaned, heated, shaped, and polished under controlled conditions, it can last for decades without the need for synthetic coatings or chemical reinforcement. The material's natural structure remains stable, allowing products to age gracefully rather than degrade quickly. Together, these factors explain why white bull horn is more than a decorative material. Its biological composition, natural rarity, and long lifespan combine to create a product that justifies its place in the global luxury market. Where craftsmanship and authenticity carry lasting value, quality control plays a central role in white bull horn manufacturing, because even minor defects can affect long-term performance. Throughout production, the material passes through multiple inspection stages. Technicians check for cracks, internal stress lines, warping, and color irregularities that may not appear. During early processing, each inspection reduces the risk of failure after the product reaches the market. Environmental control is just as important. Horn is sensitive to temperature and moisture changes, especially after shaping and polishing. Factories closely monitor these conditions to prevent slow deformation, surface dulling, or structural weakening over time. By maintaining stable environments, manufacturers protect both the appearance and durability of the finished goods. Sustainability is increasingly part of the process. Ethical sourcing systems are used to ensure that horns come from regulated livestock supply chains, where animals are raised primarily for food production. In this model, the horn is treated as a byproduct rather than a primary resource, reducing waste and aligning with modern sourcing standards. Documentation and traceability help confirm compliance with regional and international guidelines. Material efficiency also matters. Not every section of a horn can be used for large or premium items, but smaller pieces are rarely discarded. Instead, waste horn material is often repurposed into smaller components, decorative elements, or accessories. This approach maximizes usable output and reduces overall material loss. Together, these practices reflect a shift in modern manufacturing. Quality control ensures reliability and consumer trust, while sustainability measures address environmental and ethical expectations. In an industry built around natural materials, careful oversight allows white bull horn products to meet today's standards without compromising performance, responsibility, or long-term value. White bull horn leather production represents the meeting point between natural biology and industrial precision. What begins as a raw byproduct of livestock processing is transformed through careful handling, skilled labor, and controlled environments. The material's natural structure provides strength and character, while modern manufacturing ensures consistency, safety, and reliability at every stage. Inside the factory, each step adds value. Inspection, heating, shaping, and polishing do more than change the horn's appearance. They determine how it will perform years into the future. Without this level of control, the material would remain unpredictable. With it, White Bull horn becomes suitable for luxury goods that demand both beauty and durability. This transformation allows the material to move far beyond its original context. Once processed, White Bull horn enters global supply chains, where it is used in premium accessories, decorative items, and specialized tools. Its appeal lies not only in how it looks, but in the story behind it. A natural material refined rather than replaced, and shaped rather than mass-produced. As consumer preferences continue to shift, demand for natural and traceable materials is growing. Buyers increasingly want to know where products come from and how they are made. In response, horn-based manufacturing is evolving. Stricter sourcing standards, improved quality control, and more refined craftsmanship are becoming the norm rather than the exception. Looking ahead, the future of White Bull horn production will likely depend on balance, preserving the material's natural uniqueness while meeting modern expectations for ethics, sustainability, and performance is a complex challenge. But when done correctly, this process shows how traditional materials can remain relevant in a modern, global luxury market through precision, responsibility, and respect for the material itself.